Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're tuned into Good Day Blab. This is your girl, Hotep Sophia, also known as Dominique Rebel. And here we are to talk about the news straight from the Gab stream, which has been completely insane over the last 24 hours. And so I knew I had to make some time to do a show today because again, the Blab peeps are sort of missing the point and they're going right along with the desired outcome in regards to this whole whatever the guy's name in Wakusha. Uh, okay, so just to get this out of the way, and this is going to come up over and over again in what I posted. If you see black people behaving in an unusual manner, 9 times out of 10, they are co opted, meaning they're somehow employed by a government. Some government coerced them to do something that they know they shouldn't do or wouldn't normally do. Some government agent has them in some sort of undercover whatever thing. And, you know, these people are co-opted by the government. The government is extremely pervasive in the black community, 100%. And so you can see that based on the fact that the Malcolm X case, two of the people who they accused of murdering him just got off. Why is that? Did anybody look into that? Did anybody care about that? No, because you got distracted with all this other stuff going on that you missed the fact the clear fact that the government manipulated the people into doing things that they weren't planning on doing, didn't want to do, and would not have done without government intervention. So, the first thing I need to say is if my fellow Americans of Caucasian or white color don't wake up, open your eyes, boop, 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 and see that the government is behind these things, then we can never move forward because as soon as one of these events happen, it comes back to, oh, it was this black person and black people are all like this and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that may be fine and true, but again, as I have frequently mentioned, there are native blacks, like people who were already here, like people of my ilk, and then there's transplants. There are a lot of transplants, like who came here in the 70s, first, second generation blacks. You would never know that because they have um, taken our term Negro away from us and gave us a term black. Negro was specific to black Americans. Before they took that term, disappeared, poof, and gave us the term black. In the 70s, the communists did. So the same thing you're complaining about now, again, started way back on our population, which is smaller. And another thing that I actually did post is that there are a lot of people on the Blab that are saying, oh, well, if you import the third world, you're going to get the third world. First and foremost, there were a great deal of blacks already here. So I am not imported. There's no part of me that's imported. I am from Maryland, which was one of the original colonies on both sides. I came from here, okay? Like 10, 12, 15 generations even before me, okay? So let's just, undo all of that talk because not all of us are from somewhere else. A lot of us are from here. Second of all, what about Ellis Island? When are we ever going to address the Italian gangs and the Greek gangs and the German gangs and all of these gangs that came across on Ellis Island? Don't tell me they didn't. We know they did. Who ran New York? I mean, who runs New York? Like, it's not black gangs. I assure you that. Chuck Schumer is not black, okay? He is affiliated, but he is not black. So which affiliation is he? That's all I'm saying. You guys do too much. And then the third And the final point is, if we don't ignore all of that, put it all to the side, because it's irrelevant, totally irrelevant, we will lose this battle. It will be done and over with and gone. We must put the blame on where the blame should be. For example, why isn't the police chief in Waukesha going to hold any more press conferences on this? Shouldn't we blame him? Don't you think we need some more press conferences on this event? Should be covered the same way as Kyle. I totally agree with that. Second, what about the mainstream media? What did they say? Oh, he was fleeing a crime. Well, how did that happen? Maybe the DA released him on $1,000 bail. Who paid the bail? These are the things that every sane person, I promise you, I have talked to a lot of black people about this in the last 24 hours just to see, what the consensus was amongst the community. And people are really appalled. Same thing with the cow situation. Black people are like, oh, that was self-defense. They don't, what you see on the media, again, is a lot of first generation American blacks or second generation American blacks. You don't see heritage blacks, like literally heritage Negroes, talking like this. You don't see it. Because our books that represent us tell us what happened. But these second, third generation Negroes, they don't know it. So they just say, oh, black history starts with Obama. That's another thing. I am tired of seeing they're erasing white history. No, they're erasing American history. They already erased black history because black history starts with Obama, who is not black, okay? So how is it that now you're realizing, oh my gosh, they're erasing our history when they've been erased black history? Do you even know? Do you even know who Booker T. Washington is? Okay? Do you even know who, besides what you hear, Frederick Douglass is? Do you know who those people are at all? There are, and those aren't even the best examples, but those were the ones that were the leaders of the Negro community. This is what happened. Like, you just don't get it. Like, it's not your history being erased. Now it's American history. It's not the history of whites. It's a history of America. Black history has already been wiped off the map. It's gone. It's gone. But black history, been gone. Been gone. How about George Washington Carver? You know those sweet potatoes you're going to eat on Thanksgiving? Thank you to George Washington Carver for that, because he is not only the peanut, but also the sweet potato. He revolutionized farming in the South at Tuskegee. Like, there's so much history that affects all of America that's been completely erased, that if you people don't get your head out of your hind parts, we're going to lose. We are losing. I don't care what anybody says. We are losing right now, because every time one of these incidents come up, you guys chase it like a shiny ball. In the words of Sonny Johnson, you have to stop doing that. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? It's not hard to stay focused on the issues, and you guys are doing a terrible job. I am just here to tell you the truth. It is terrible. Do not. Now, the thing in Waukesha absolutely needs to be talked about. Absolutely. But blame the jihadi that conducted the vehicular jihad, as Laura Loomer has exposed already. It only took her a few hours to boop, 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 boop. Oh, he's a jihadist. Boom. That was it. Instead, that information didn't get passed around. Oh, no. Heaven forbid we pass around that so you can see that he's a Muslim and not black first. But no, we go straight to it's Negroes and niggas did it and nigga this and nigga that. It's wrong. It's wrong. Because I don't do that. When I see that a white man or somebody and they're promoting this, I think, you know what? I bet the FBI set him up. That's my first thought. But no, not you people on Blab. The first thing you say is, that's a nigga doing nigga things and he's taking out the little white kids and this and that and the grandmas. And it's true. But it's not a nigga doing nigga things. It's an asset of the government engaging in activity to draw you people, further away from the point of winning, which we were at. Right up into, I mean, the Kyle thing, whatever, but we were right there. We had them on defense. And now what do? Oh, back to MSNBC, looking to see what they're saying. What is CNN saying about this story? Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Focus on the issue. And I have gone on about this for 10 minutes, and I really shouldn't, but I had to get that off my chest because I am tired of going out here in my community and defending white people only to turn around and have the white people, first thing they do, first thing something goes on that the media and the government clearly orchestrated, you can clearly tell, like, look at where it was. Let's just start with that. And look how cold it was. Ain't no black folks hanging around outside on that. It's just not how things work. It's just not. Where have they been relocating all of these radical jihadis? The upper Midwest, haven't they? So why wasn't that like, oh, think that might be something that the government orchestrated? No. We go right back into this, oh, nigga this, nigga that, and da-da-da-da. I am tired of it. I defend white people in my community every single day, to my own people every single day. And as soon as the first thing comes up, oh, da-da-da-da-da, y'all have got to do better. We cannot win like this. And every rational black person on our side knows that. And every time y'all do this, you push the rational people away. And you gotta stop it. We can't win like this. This cannot continue to go on. You must stop. Full stop. Immediately. Right away. Okay. So, that being said, let's go on to and a lot of my posts and the posts that come up on the timeline are going to be about this. So, Lord, because I can't take it. It's too much. Like, here we go. Here's a good point. Was this person bailed out by the Minnesota Freedom Fund? That's something we should be looking to. In the bail reform, was he bailed out on any of these crowd-funded community bail funds? Look at this. I'm not even gonna, I won't even tell y'all. Look at his name though. That's not what they call him. And he's a SoundCloud rapper. Like, wait a minute. Y'all, I'm so upset. Y'all want to blame the entirety of the black community on a SoundCloud rapper. I just also have to say that. This is completely unfair. SoundCloud rappers will literally be the undoing of this country. Like, y'all have to stop it. Wagging my finger because I mean it. Stop. Okay. All right. Yes, something else we should be looking at. I don't know what's going on my screen, but I'm going to keep talking. Something else we should be looking at. The Maxwell trial is going on. Why aren't y'all paying attention to that? Where's the live stream video of that? It's not there. It's not there. Why isn't it there? Because you guys are too busy looking at Wakusha and everywhere else and Kyle and everything else, and they're just going to sneak in the Maxwell trial right during Thanksgiving when they think nobody's paying attention and let that be the end of it. That is completely unacceptable. And the only people who are accepting it is y'all. And I mean that. In its entirety. Hold on, I can't see the... All right, there we go. Now we're caught up. Okay. Here we go. Here's another thing. Look at this inflation. Now we know what this picture means. Biden economy will dwarf Carter. That is a fact. The inflation is out of control. It is insane. We need to be looking at this. And look at this picture anyway. How? I mean, I just won't. I won't do it. Oh my goodness. Did y'all? Okay, I'm going to click on this. Oh, and that's another thing I'll talk about later. Look at this. Look at this. They are replacing Jesus with George Floyd. That's something we should be talking about. What is this about? What is this about? This is insanity. Insanity. Okay? Insane. And this is another thing. I want to bring this up briefly. There was a whole big debate started by some Christians on the Blab yesterday, and I thought it was completely unnecessary, because this person was basically making the point that the Jews are God's chosen people, and therefore the Christians should not call them out. Well, we should call out all evil, no matter where the evil comes from. I don't have anything personally against anyone of any faith. But when you look at all the people who are doing the things that are causing this country to go down the tubes, you can't be so blind. You put the blinders on and you say, anybody but Jay. Anybody but them. No, if I see the star or the pointed hats, I don't see them. That is insane. So like I said in this comment, are we only allowed to call out the Jesuits as the enemy and not the Jews? That is true. Anybody who's committing the evils is the enemy. All persons. And Satan is smart enough. I'm going to try to stop wagging my finger. Satan is smart enough that he will go under the cover of whatever is convenient and whatever he can use to keep from being blamed. And until you come to that realization that you are being used and tricked by the devil because you don't want to blame one group over another. Listen, I don't have a problem saying Negroes got a problem. Negroes do have a huge problem, but our problem is rooted in the government. Okay, a lot of the stuff that we do is the perverse government incentives that have been put into our community. I will call that out. But to call out the person, maybe if they do something wrong, like I will call out this. You see, I haven't even said his name. I'm not going to say his name. I won't. This lunatic that ran over these poor little people, the kids and the grandmas. That's outrageous. This person should not be allowed to walk the face of the planet anymore. Period. At the same time, I know that this was not done without some sort of incitement by the government, based on how the government operates, based on how all of this stuff operates. And until you cover that side, you're only getting one side of the problem. You're not getting both sides. I won't, I'm not going to go into the next part. Anyway, let's keep it moving. America shall remain a city of refuge for the whole earth unless she herself play the tyrant, forget her destiny, disgrace her freedom, and provoke her God. Message. I had seen this before. Look at this. Look at this. Catholic University is a mess. Shout out to Shadow Knight, always doing a great job over on the Blab. I don't know what any of that means. Looks great. This is another person, just saying, the history is not what they've told us. So what is the real history? I have a friend over here who has been talking about it, and we just want the truth should be known. Now, I am not a denier, but I do know that the official story does not match what actually happened. And I do know a lot of people were murdered, but maybe not in the way or for the reasons that we think. That's another thing. But if you follow Aim for Truth, you would already know that, because we found that out 3, maybe 4 years ago almost now. You guys are late. So it's not my fault that you're late. You need to go and do some research. The research is all there. You have to get off of the games and go to Aim for Truth and do a search on whatever it is you want to know, and you will find out more truth history than you ever imagined with source documents, like IBM. What was IBM tracking anyway? Anyway, that's for another day. Look, Negro said the same thing about Ellis Island, but here we are. Guess who took our jobs and our history and bought their disease and their violent gangs? But I digress, as I previously mentioned. Now we can either work together against the common enemy, or lose it all, and that is a fact. And anybody else, anything other than that is not. It doesn't even need to be entertained. Look at this. I don't know what's going on in Australia, man. I just seen some stuff. I was like, that can't be true. But we'll see. You have to go, of course, to my Gab stream at Dominique Rebel on Blab.com, and you will see all of these stories and more. I go through every day during the day and pull through interesting stuff from all around Blab, the talk of the Blab. Oh, look how that won't show up. How convenient. Look at this. Let's see. How convenient. Anyway, that square right there is the patent for the virus, and it's owned by the Pirbright Institute. And if you don't know, the Pirbright Institute it's a bioweapons basically company based out of England, and the Queen Monarchy is the owner of the Pirbright Institute. Again, all that information is available on Aim for Truth, and you can find out. Stonewall does great information, great stories about history. This one is about Christopher Columbus. I will definitely miss Rush's. Look at that. That's so crazy. Telling of the first Thanksgiving this year, so I hope they replay it. This is true. Flo Brother, I'm always like sidestepping him because he says stuff I can't respond to. I just can't. But call out the peer pressure. And this was based on the fact that if you didn't know, there's a link for all the co-defendants on the Maxwell case, and one of them is Beyonce, one of them is Jay-Z, one of them is Kanye, and also the NYPD city and police department. What is that about? I mean, there's all types of stuff you could be talking about other than this murdering lunatic, and yet here you are. This is, of course, Jack does some great research. Boy Schiller Flexner. I cannot believe this. I'm going to have to pull that up. I'm going to have to repost that. Look at this. One of the defendants. Good music. Young Money. Look at this. Kanye. What do they have to do? Virgil Abloh. Virgil got some explaining to do. Robert Kelly. I mean, y'all, I just can't. Listen, on the Blab, we have some great entrepreneurs posting all kinds of stuff. You can participate in the parallel economy and stop sending your money to these soulless heathens and spend your money with people who care about your community. That's one thing you absolutely could do to make things better. So this was just one little cute thing I saw. I also have a group. It's called Shop with Gabbers. And then there's Small Business Owners of Gab that's run by my friend Nullify Fed Laws. So there's lots of places you can find stuff on here, right? Okay. Look at this. This is the truth. If you don't know, this is how it works. I don't know I don't know how else to help you. Facts. So I do have the link that you can actually pull up on your phone, because other places have the link. You can't pull it up on your phone. If you look on my page, you'll see it. This is a good idea. Start taking away everything that matters from your child, regardless of age, and use it as a lesson of what is happening and will happen to our country if 200 million people continue to sit on their hands and do nothing. Parallel economy. More importantly, Jesus saves. That's a fact. Look at this. These things are both in Wisconsin. Like, What is going on in Wisconsin, yo? Like, that's what you should be looking at. And why are you still in Wisconsin? You see that it's going down the tubes. Your people won't do anything. You had all this criminality in the election. They're leaving it alone. This is what you should be arguing about. And look at this. So cute. Okay. Again, people are starting to finally come to the conclusion I have made months, at least a year ago, because I saw one time in one article that the sequence for the Rona had H4 in it, which is HIV. Now people are saying, is it causing some sort of autoimmune deficiency, syndrome? And it in fact is. It in fact is. And then if you got the jab, oh, you're in big trouble. You gave it to yourself. Look at this. Breastfeeding associated death has been in VAERS since April. It happened in March. Come on, y'all. Look at this. Oh, gosh. That was funny. First of all, this guy should have never been fired, but he absolutely needs to get his job back, and I hope he fights them. Look at this. One of the parents. Okay. Look at this. I have started looking for a homestead or raw land that can be fitted with a trailer or mobile home anywhere at least 50 miles outside a major metro area. It's time to bail out and let the left reap what they have sown and do my best to avoid becoming collateral damage. This is the way. This is the truth. This is what you need to do. Stop trying to solve these problems in these cities, the Sodom and Gomorrah of today, and get you to the country. Look, Carrie is right. It's even black. Now, let me tell you something. If this is another one of these Juicy Smollett, mulatto, Bubba Wallace, mulattos, I'm going to be pissed. Like, super pissed. Because American Negroes should not be blamed for the deeds of mulattoes. They should not. Just like we should not be blamed for the deeds of foreigners. Foreign blacks, as I call them. Not fair. I mean it. I should stop using my hand so much. I'm really riled up today, if you can't tell. It's just nuts. Look at this. Another beautiful custom laser cutting company. Super beautiful. Love it. If you're not following Wall Street Silver over on the Blab, I highly suggest it. I don't do Reddit. I only do the Blab, and they're here. Blowback from the failed Afghanistan stuff. Well, could be. Could be. Look at this. BLM. And again, it's something else I should say about that. There's a difference between the BLM national organization and the community chapters. The community chapters, we've always had community organizing. So it's a little bit different for the community chapters who get $0 in funding from the main big chapter, and the people like Patrice Cullors, who has 4 homes. Big difference. So I just, again, would like to point out to my fellow Americans of white skin tone. I wouldn't call it white. I call it peach, but whatever. There are people out there who are controlling the narrative. We can't just blame Soros when it's convenient and ignore him when it's inconvenient. Okay? Not fair. All right. It's been their plan to start a race war. They're trying to start a race war. And luckily, there's enough level-minded Negroes that it won't happen. Because y'all are not going into the hood, and they're not going to come into the white areas. Now, that thing, again, unless they're provoked or otherwise enticed by the government to do something they would not ordinarily do, which is pretty much what happened. Oh, and watch out for this smallpox talk. I'm telling you, get your vitamins, D, C, E, and K. No, D, C, K. Yeah, D, C, and K. Get those vitamins. Get yourself stocked up, get you out in the sunlight, ignore everything they said about everything, and you can protect yourself. Look, Laura Loomer, 16 hours ago. He belongs to a black supremacist sect of Islam called the 5% Nation. Duh. What'd I say? Can black Americans get some credit? He's Muslim first, not black, which would have been obvious if y'all weren't so emotional, which is a fact. Oh, I just saw this where all of your stuff, how all of your stuff is going to be listed on your. Look at all these reserved for future use, reserved for future use, reserved for future pre-crime index. What does that mean? Community service hours. What does that mean? Reserved for future number of bankruptcies, pending civil litigation. This is the stuff that's going to be on your social credit score, not your social media posts. Like, they're just trying to dumb that down. Look, I'm watching the right shelf their Christianity for their race, much like the left has done long ago. We're part of a growing minority. Narrow is the path that leads to salvation. Look, Christ, Paleo, FBA. Shout out to my guy. Absolutely accurate. And I agree with this. It's you can't ignore the fact of who runs the music industry. Like, I understand that we don't want to blame certain people, but they're hiding behind it so that you won't blame them. Satan is tricky. When will you accept that? Won't. Look at this. Look at this. It's okay to burn Mark Twain? Dang. William Shakespeare? Dang. Cat in the Hat? Okay, sorry. We used to hate and destroy one another and refuse to associate with people of another race or country. Now, because of Christ, we live together with such people and pray for our enemies. Now, listen, praying for them does not mean letting them run you over in a car, okay? But you have to know who is your enemy, which would be... I think that's another thing that really annoys me about this argument that had been going on Blab, is because it's okay to blame black people for the stuff that goes on, like this insane stuff, but it's not okay to blame clearly a group of people who are engaging in activities that are really making things bad for everybody. Don't blame them. Blame blacks, no problem, but don't blame the other ones. Like, I just, y'all got to do a little bit better, okay? Look at this. I said, this was a comment I made. Talking about everything but Maxwell's trial, right? The government sure knows what will distract you and push your buttons, white man. That is a fact. Y'all let it happen. Okay, so look, this is on, if you go to Black Blab, I have this video in the group, right? He has glory written all over him. That's why I said facts. If you listen to this video, okay, so I'm not going to repeat everything in the video, but one thing stood out to me. He picked up a girl, brought her across state lines into Nevada. What's in Nevada? Vegas. He is pimping underage girls in Vegas. Do people get away with that? Really? Or do they get co-opted and turned? I need y'all to wake up, okay? And listening to him talk, he sounds just like somebody insane. Whatever. So we're not going to even go on that. If y'all not turned on to this Trump stuff, I don't even want to go into it because that will take me forever to just address it. But let's just say that the con is real. It's not normal for me to get all of these things. Stand up for me before it's too late. That's the truth. That's true. Kids do not have heart attacks, okay? Do not. Strokes, no. And this is going to be one of my last ones. The natural remedies, including the wild lettuce, has I haven't made. I'm growing lettuce now, so we'll see how it turns out for a painkiller. But I'm hoping that it will work well. Look at this. Um, Here we go. Look at this guy. Look at him. And then somebody said, "Oh, he changed his appearance. He grew his hair out." Like black people do that. I, Never mind. I won't even say what I was really about to say. I'll just leave it at that. Deadliest in human history. 1 in 317 boys aged 16 to 17 will get myocarditis. Here's another thing. Look, I'm not going to go into this. But the signs and wonders are all there. Oh, Lord. Okay. Look, Pastor Mark Burns, look what he said. This is a terrorist attack on U.S. soil. So, right away, you have black people coming out saying, look, this is wrong. This is wrong. And yet, what do? What do, white man? You blame us. Okay? Look at this. Look at all of these people. Won't see on your mainstream media. This is why you have the Blab timeline that will give you the truth. Look. State board drops sex offender term. If they get R. Kelly off because of this, I will be. Look at. Would Don Lemon do this? Would he do this? Would he do this? Absolutely. I just. He didn't get released by accident. He got sent out on a mission. Black, white, what color is this revolution? Exactly. Okay, I'm going to sit with this. This is true. You can't commit an atrocity and disappear from the news cycle. That's where you're wrong, kiddo. Hey, whatever happened in Vegas? Not just Vegas, but lots of places where just poof, no more talkie's over. So this is one reason why black people get extremely annoyed is because you don't remember when this happens amongst your people, but you remember it with a burning fire when it happens among us. And I think it's equal amounts because I think both sides are being played. So you have to, must stop engaging these people in what they want you to do. Just stop it. Please, for the good of this nation, just stop it. Because black people, look what we did with Jesse. We was like, I'm not saying nothing. Lots of black people said nothing. Why? Because we know mulattoes, they got some problems. So we know just to boop, boop, boop. I can't defend that. Not just the mulattoes, the Rainbow Coalition. They got some stuff going on with them. So when you got Rainbow Coalition mulatto, oh no, I'm not defending them. Never, ever. Because I know that as soon as I defend them, I'm going to regret it. The moment, I learned that in high school. The moment you defend them, you regret it instantly. So this is just a brief, small portion of what you can see on the Blab timeline. Of course, go check me out at Dominique Rebel, Hotep Sophia. I'll come up either way on the Blab. And Lord, if the news keeps going like this, I will be back tomorrow. I'm still trying to get my camera set up. I bought another third camera that should work, but we'll see because my first two didn't work out so well. So if hopefully this will work. I don't know. It's just I'm having such bad luck procuring cameras. I've never had such bad luck. So I'm using the camera on my MacBook, which is not great, but I wanted to get started and start bringing you some information. Of course, if you want to see all my links, go to hotepsophia.com. Of course, support us over on Blab and get out of the evil demonic media and over to some where you can at least find a few Christians to congregate and fellowship with in the name of Jesus. So thank you guys for tuning in. Time to take the kiddos to the indoor playground, and I'll catch you tomorrow or the next time on Good Day Bad. Peace and blessings to you, and have a good day.